Imagine the luxury of freedom.
iDiskiTV powered by World Sports Betting. iDiskiTimes.co.za. Orlando Pirates 1, Kaizer Chiefs 0 in the Soweto Derby, the biggest game of the South African football calendar. Tso Vilakazi was confident coming into this game that Orlando Pirates were going to win the game. He thought they were going to win 3, but they won 1. So that's a good prediction. His son thought the Chiefs was going to win 2-0. That's a bad prediction. He doesn't have a future in predicting games, but he has a future in maybe playing for Kaizer Chiefs one day. We shall see. Tso Vilakazi for the future in 2035. So what did you make of the game, sir?
Mr. Ke kunjani mfethu?
Yes, sir.
Ngibulise wena, ngibulise Justice, ngibulise Junior, ngibulise Machaka. Ngibulise namakhaya. Ngicela support njalo iDiskiTV. Ngizobuya nje njalo ngijike futhi.
Beisuka kuphi confidence. You woke up in the good side of the bed and you told us before the game started the Pirates is going to win.
Mr. Ke, you know, I've watched these 2 games as we were working on Tuesday. It was Pirates, and Wednesday it was Chiefs.
Yeah.
After those 2 games, I was like, yes, they've got confidence, both of them. But now when I look at them pound to pound, Pirates do have an upper hand.
In terms of players.
Yeah, in terms of players, because when you look at the Chiefs, you count mhlambe yabona umuntu mhlambe uNqobo yeah, uyabona ukuthi uyabala. But ku Pirates uyabona kumvukengi, uMaswanganyi, uRasmus, uLochi, uNdlondlo, uPule, ngabali 11 yonke. So yinto enginikeze confidence ukuthi this time around Pirates will win, and my worry was ukuthi I hope the coach will find the right combinations in those players, because sometimes you can have good players, Mr. Keu, but if you can't find the right combinations, then you're gonna have a problem. Of which I believe ukuthi look, iyenzakele ukuthi afake lineup yakhe ucoach, and I was worried with the injuries that happened ega Monyani, ega Rasmus, because you know when you get injuries early in the game, it's worrying, Mr. Keu, because especially playing a derby, it takes a lot out of players, and you need everyone to be available so that when the other one collapse, the other one will come in and pick up from where he left. But nevertheless, Mr. Keu, look, yeah, it was a game of 2 halves. But I knew there's no way Chiefs will score. There was no way. They came in.
Explain so why do you think that?
Mr. Keu, you can have position, but you need to find the right areas to use that position on now. Of which that in the Chiefs ukuthi they were having, especially second half, they had, I would say, a lot of position where they keep the ball, but they can't get to those areas where there will be danger. I think they went maybe once or twice Usaile, where he took a shot Lena with the header ga Castillo, or Itasha lapha nomthetho. Other than that, they really, there's nothing.
Can I just say something on that? Ubutele is a great save for him. With a chance Castillo.
Yeah.
But if you actually look at the highlights of that moment,
Yeah.
there was no one in the box for Chiefs. This is the problem that we were having. There was no one in the box for Chiefs. He ran. The moment Udove kicked that ball, he literally started running, and I think he gained 10 meters, ran 10, 15 yards, and then he got into the box whilst the ball is in the air, and then he headed it. There was no one. And that was part of the problem with the Kaizer Chiefs. Okay, you do look like you want to come back into this game in the second half, but how? Like, there's no purpose. How are you going to do that? And also, even at an individual level, we need to blame those players, because if Sekfaga, Modi, Sekfaga Ndoba uspagamise, lift us up as a football club. Same with Orlando Pirates. If Sekfaga Pule spagamise, take us to a different level. But let me focus on Modi and Ushaba. For me, I think, like, when you are given that opportunity, and even Usaile, when you are given that opportunity, you should be able to say, Masien Machete, like, we're going now, we're going for it. But I never really got that sense from Chiefs. In fact, it was only Orlando Pirates, because they had already that one goal. Maybe average position was like 2 or 5 footsteps back, which made it look like they were defending, but they were always dangerous on the counter, Pirates. This was not a classic Soweto derby. It was not boring, but I don't think that it was to the standard that we wanted it to be, because with the Chiefs, there was no purpose in their attack. What do you think about his approach to coach? Do you blame him as well in terms of, do you think he started this game wanting to defend from the beginning?
Yeah, Mr. Gil, in the mistake that I would say Coach Chiefs that he did was to change the lineup. You know, we from my personal experience and knowing the game itself, when you've won the last game, players that they've played that game, they've got confidence. They did well. So and so created, they scored and all of that. You know, the smiles from all the players, they are ready, looking forward for the next game. And then here comes the next game, and then you change the lineup. You know, it plays you know, a negative mode in the environment of the team itself, because when you played the last game, you did very well, you expect it to continue. You don't expect to go to know Besuba se pension because of maybe the other game, because now it says Kushuti Mina, they don't trust me to start the big game like this, but now I must come in and save the team. You know, I'm not protecting players in that, but it's something that it's nature that I played well. Why I'm not starting again now? And I think that was a mistake that I believe the coach achieves ANC. But going forward, Mr. Kewu, there's no excuse. You've been given an opportunity. I always say to players when I meet them, I don't care whether you get 5 minutes. I don't care. Use that 5 minutes. Use that 5 minutes, because you don't know whether it's the last game, or maybe it's the game that maybe will take you maybe overseas, or it will change your life. You know, really, for that 5 minutes. So you got a chance. Use that chance. So for me, Modi came in. We expect him to, you know, maybe put pressure kuShandu. Yabona akumsebenzisa uShandu laphayana ukuthi sibona uShandu ahleli lapha emuva defend, and then umdu came in. Yeah, man, you could see ukuthi ufuna ukwenzani, but look, one, it's a big game. Two, there's pressure. Three, play simple. Play simple. There was a situation where I thought he was going to be very smart. It was facing Ulonduzana Usibisi 1v1, and Usibisi he didn't know what's happening behind him. He was supposed to play 1-2 with Ulonduzana. I think it was Matt. Play Matt, and then we get to the box. But yeah, a derby is always going to be tough, Mr. Kewu. We will point fingers to these boys on the derby to say no, but again, Pamsi Sandler and all of that. A derby, it's not just a game. But one thing about a derby is that already motivate. That doesn't also need the coach to coach you. You know, it tells you about Uguti, this game in Mina Ini, what's happening in that game, and you know the whole South Africa is watching you. So you need to show us with who you are, what is that you can do. And yeah, the boys, for me, they didn't give Chiefs what I think the coach expected from the boys.
Good win for Orlando Pirates.
Very good win. I mean, ezimnyama ngekani zagubha umuzi kamasipala zawenza wabo zingene laphana zabuya 90 point. You know, I just wish the other boys recover, and well done to the team. I think they deserve the 3 points.
All right, there you go. That's Orlando Pirates defeating Kaizer Chiefs in the Soweto derby. We saw Gianni Infantino, the FIFA president. We saw the CAF president, Dr. Patrice Motsepe, and we also saw legendary referee Uper Luigi Colina taking us back to a time. I think it was the 2002 Korea World Cup, Korea and Japan, where he was a star of that show. I think it was the referee of the final between Brazil and Germany, if I'm not mistaken. First referee also to be on the cover of our PlayStation games. Usually it will always be our star players, Abomba, Abozitana, Bobanban. He was the cover, I think, of a Pro Evolution Soccer PlayStation game back in the day when we used to play PlayStation games. So it was a spectacle. Of course, we know that, I'm sure the president, Gianni Infantino, is also here for the AFL. And bamtshela ukuthi nokunento la ebalekile bathi idabi. Shy around, jigela ndoda, just come and see it. You would have loved to see more goals, better quality, but of course that's South African football. And as you can see us sweating, it's 30 degrees in Joburg, so that's also a factor too. iDiskiTV, iDiskiTimes, all sports betting. Thank you for watching us.